Welcome to this third edition of the Turkey series. In this third episode, we are profiling the education and health sectors of Turkey. So for those planning to travel and those planning to relocate and settle permanently in Turkey, having knowledge of how the education sector and health system works is one of those prerequisites as part of your preparation. And for students who are planning on applying for scholarships, this episode comes in handy, and listening in as we dive deeper would be of much interest to you as well. So without any further ado, let's go deep into this journey. So the Ministry of Education, like it is in most countries, it's the one responsible for the pre-tertiary education. And this level of education phase is a 12-year sort of program where the first 4 years are for the primary school, the middle 4 years are for middle school, and the last 4 years are for high school, as we prepare these students for tertiary education, that's going to the university. So Turkey is blessed to have 209 universities as of 2022, for which these students will be more than willing to join after completing their pre-tertiary compulsory level of education. And it's also important to note that pre-tertiary phase of 12 years is free for all students in public schools of Turkey. So if you want to relocate to Turkey, just know that there's free education for the first 12 years. Istanbul University is Turkey's oldest university, and it became the Republic's first modern university in 1933. In terms of entrance to the universities, it's important to note that to join a university in Turkey, you have to go through some sort of examination, which is administered by the Student Selection and Placement System, where the scores from that examination determine which universities you are assigned to based on your performance. And also of recent, in 2016, it's also something that would be of interest for those in the academia world to note that since 2016, all rectors, all chancellors of all state and private universities in Turkey are appointed by the head of state. Yeah. So unlike other countries where the private universities run their affairs, here in Turkey, all these are appointed by the head of state. Turkey has also become a hub for foreign students of late, and in 2016, close to 800,000 students, foreign students who were studying in Turkey, in the Turkey's education system. Ideally, most of them were university students. And for those of you interested in scholarships, there's a Turkey recently changed its name, so that name Turkey scholarships is of course stems from the new name, which is Turkey, the pronunciation. So Turkey scholarships is a scholarship program funded by the government of Turkey, and in 2021 they received 165,000 applications from students across the world, 178 countries. So I believe this is still on. So for those of you interested in scholarships, you can check out the Ministry of Education website for more about that scholarship program. Down to the education sector, rather to the health sector. This health sector system of Turkey is run through a universal public health care system, and this has been the case since 2003. And it's administered by the Ministry of Health. And of course, there's funding involved in running such systems. And as of the time of this recording, the government generates that funding partly through a tax surcharge on the employers, which stands at 5%. And it's also important to note that the public sector funding for the healthcare system covers close to 75.2% of the health expenditures. That's not a mean feat compared to other countries. For instance, the United States of America stands at 34% in 2022. So for Turkey to be at 75.2%, that's not a mean feat for their population. The life expectancy in Turkey is 78.6 years. That's the average. And for the males, it's 76 years, and the females are 81. And if you compare this to the Europe average of 81 years, it is pretty close. And that shows you that Turkey is one of those destinations that you can choose to go to if you want to live a fulfilling lifetime. On the downside, Turkey has high rates of obesity, with 29.5% of its adult population having a body mass index that is 30 and above. Yeah, so I implore you, my viewers and listeners, to just keep in check of your body mass index, yeah, through various means. It could be through your nutrition, and of course some physical activity element in your day-to-day activities that can do lots of good to your health. And the other downside is that air pollution in Turkey is a major cause of early death. So if you relocate to Turkey, you have to be very, very cautious on where you choose to rent or to live, so that you're not exposed to this challenge of air pollution. For those of you interested in medical tourism, Turkey is one of those destinations, and in 2019 alone, they generated more than $1 billion US from medical tourism. Yeah, in fact, Turkey ranks second, just second to Thailand for medical tourism in the world. Yeah, that list features prominent countries, India being the third, South Korea, Germany, Switzerland, Spain, and Italy. So Turkey is also a destination for those who intend to go for plastic surgery procedures. And in 2019 alone, 660,000 patients received a service, that service in the country within the scope of health tourism. So that's it for tonight's episode, and I implore you to like and share and to subscribe to the channel as we unveil other episodes in this Turkey series. So we shall unveil an episode on the economy, an episode on their cost of living, tourism, major infrastructure, as we wrap it up and move on to our next episode for profiling. Thanks for being great listeners, and have a great time. Take care. Cheers.